we've got a special guest coming to us from Texas, where apparently things are bigger down there, is as the saying goes. We've got Ernest coming at us today. He's from Into the Lab podcast. Ernest, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, I heard we were talking some Dallas Cowboy football, so I had to jump on this episode. So I'm really glad to be a part of tonight's action. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And for everybody out there, you may remember we had Ernest on last year to help us break down some team analysis. He did a fantastic job. Really had some great takes there. And yeah, he's got a really good kind of background when it comes to sports analytics, things like that. So I'm really interested to get a lot of your takes and how some of this thing is going to play through. So should be a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and kind of kick things off there a little bit. So obviously, we just made mention of the fact that you were on the show last year. You're back again tonight, but what have you been up to in the meantime? What have you been up to from last time we talked to you?
Gosh, I don't even remember how long ago that was. I'm guessing last off season.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Yeah, Into the Lab podcast has grown. We are affiliated in we're international now, so we have sponsors international, and our base has grown quite a bit. We finally reached the 10,000 mark at one point in the past year. So we had a 10,000 download episode, which was fantastic, first time ever. But Labsters continue to grow. We continue to grow together, covering NBA and MLB in particular. Since the last time we talked, I had mentions from like Vince Young and Triple B, his own LeVar Ball, and a couple other great guys who have actually got to actually have a one-on-one with. So that's pretty fantastic stuff with Into the Lab. But more importantly, everybody hit COVID, right? And sports were kind of in a lull. So Blue Collar Media Group, who's the mothership of my podcast, Into the Lab, they started a streaming division. So I'm now part owner and head of the streaming division at Blue Collar Media Group. And so kind of taking my talents to the next level is where I went. And so we got 12 awesome streamers and 6 awesome gamers who come on and go nightly. And you can catch all of our action on www.bluecollarmg.com/into-the-lab-pod, or just without the slash, and you can see everybody else. But yeah, it's been fantastic, and we've had a really good year. So excited to be back.
Awesome. That's really cool. I'm super happy for you guys. That's awesome. All the hard work that you guys have put into the lab, and then being able to partner up with Blue Collar and just seeing that thing take off is really, really cool. So congratulations to you guys. And we wish continued success as you guys build your brand here in this crazy industry that we're all kind of messing around in here at the moment. So as 2021, we get further into the season and start to change gears. Basketball, or at least college hoops, is kind of wrapping up. We have the NBA playoffs that's getting closer. Baseball season's about ready to kick off. And then, mainly football season, which is what we centrally focus on here at the Good Old Boys. But what's something that you guys are working on content wise that your viewers and listeners can expect coming up here in the next couple months that they need to put a pin in their calendar and stay tuned for?
Yeah. So what we do in the off season, so mostly American podcasts, especially sports, focuses around football. So really, you're going to the lull of what can fill my sports itch. But we do sports trivia every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. And you'll catch your lovely guys on there trying to defend their title from last season, and a bunch of other podcasts that have come on and said, hey, we beat you guys, we're going to defend our title, or hey, we want a rematch. And so it actually starts tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Central, live on any social outlet that's connected to Into the Lab Pod. And you can catch us doing football trivia to start things off against MTMV Sports. Shout out to them. They're fantastic as well. And going head to head. And we give chances to any listener, Labster of both shows, to come on and defend their titles as well. If they think they know better than us, and they just like they listen to they're talking about, and they just keep coming back anyways, and come out and show us, and then we get you a spot on there and you can do trivia sessions against us. That's something we do weekly throughout the summer, and then kick off right into NFL action in August. And so yeah, that's something that you could really kind of be interactive with us and play. And I guess the main thing, what's enticing, right? You get $25 gift cards to anybody on your team of your choice, so it can be anything you absolutely want. So can't deny a challenge. So come out and challenge us. We always want that.
That's good stuff, man. All right, we're gonna talk football here with what we've got going on. And so one of the questions that I think is pertinent and on everybody's mind as you get going here into some of the off-season stuff, as you start to evaluate what you had last year and you're moving into next year, who is one of those guys that is a must-have for you personally on your fantasy football roster?
Oof. Any team?
Any team, any player must have him, willing to overreach to get this guy on your team.
Yeah, that's a tough question right off the gate. Let's see. I'm gonna sound homerish. I'm gonna go Dak Prescott. Sorry, I know we're gonna talk about him. But Dak Prescott's gonna be the man next year because he's now the man in Dallas, America's team, and they're going to be riding that arm to a championship. May not be next year, but they're going to be riding that arm. And Mike McCarthy knows at the quarterback positions what the focus is in Dallas now. So I've got it, and we're going to talk a lot about him, so I won't give away too much. But I think if you're going to reach on a quarterback next year, it's going to be Dak Prescott.
So Carson Wentz, is that what I hear?
So
reach to get Carson Wentz.
I read the funniest.
That's mine.
I read the funniest stat. Dallas is paying $22 million for their quarterback to actually start a game, and the Eagles are paying $33 million for him to start somewhere else. So I just thought that was a fantastic way to.
Same with the Rams too.
But Ernest, before we get there, tell us real quick, how can the listeners connect with you and learn more about you?
Yeah, so Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, any of those, you do / Into the Lab pod, you'll come across our content. And we really focus on spreading the love. # Podern Family is really what I love about our community, is that we support y'all and y'all support us. And so you'll on our direct feed on Twitter, you'll find that we're just retweeting and sharing stuff from around the industry. And then we focus live for our nights for our content and then our podcast, of course. But my personal Twitter is not very active, but if you wanted to follow me whenever I am, it's at Doc E Future PhD, as I'm in my dissertation phase right now for my PhD. So that would be fun if you want to come catch some of that real content. But other than that, add Into the Lab pod on any social platform.
And they do have a great show, Into Lab. Like Ernest mentioned, Kevin and I went on there last year and won the night that we were on with the sports trivia. Feeling pretty good about that. So always a lot of fun. Always great to watch that and to be on that show. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go check that out yet, you need to hop over there, check it out. They do it on Wednesday nights. It's a lot of fun.